These workers are building the largest renewable energy project in America.
Esta línea de torre le va a llevar electricidad a varios millones de gentes.
The sunia project will address one of the biggest problems with clean energy: how to move power from remote places like this to places like this. These workers are the key, building 550 miles of high-voltage line connecting 900 wind turbines in New Mexico to cities in Arizona and California.
One of the main reasons we use the Chinook on jobs like this is just the environmental footprint and the impact on getting to some of these locations. The cost is big per hour on this thing, but if you look at the big picture on it, you minimize the time it takes to build roads and cut through properties and set up cranes. Just show up in the mornings with the crew and kind of get a game plan of what's going on and what needs to be done.
Let's remember, keep everything, fingers, digits, everything clear of the pinch points. Let's remember to have great communication. Okay, have a great day.
I guess the biggest thing is this lineman work. The cooler it is, the harder it is. The helicopters always look cool. The being in the heights looks cool. The cooler it is, usually the more tired you're going to be at the end of the day.
On this job in particular, we're setting the steel lattice structures. The sight picture for me out that left bubble there is kind of limited. So we have 4 of us on board, a pilot, co-pilot, and then a crew chief that looks down the center of the hook well.
When the aircraft takes off, I'm in what we call the hell hole. So I'm watching everything underneath the aircraft and making sure that all of our rigging is correct when we hook up the loads. I'm also positioning the pilot directly over the load, so I'll center him left, right, forward, or aft.
It's supposed to be a pretty big project with renewable energy, with wind turbines and everything. It's supposed to be a historical build right now with all the towers and the whole project going on across various states. It's pretty cool being part of something so big and so important.
The U.S. is seeing a clean energy boom spurred by the Inflation Reduction Act, a $1.2 trillion law that Democrats passed in 2022 to boost clean energy and manufacturing. Clean energy jobs are growing at twice the rate of the rest of the economy.
It's very rewarding. It pays very well, has its union benefits with medical, dental, all that sorts of stuff. It's always good to be able to come home at the end of the day and be like, hey, I worked with a helicopter today. Not everybody can say that.
The more this world grows, the more power we're going to need, and we combine projects like this and green energy, and we're on the path to success.
But there's a problem. Even though the Inflation Reduction Act has catalyzed thousands of clean energy projects, the U.S. isn't building enough transmission infrastructure to connect those projects to the electrical grid. At the end of 2023, more than 11,000 energy projects, representing double the power the entire U.S. generates today, were waiting for approval to connect to the electrical grid. A recent analysis of the Inflation Reduction Act found that 80% of the climate benefits expected by 2030 could be lost if the U.S. doesn't double the rate at which it has been building transmission lines. Building the lines themselves is often the fastest part of the process. It's getting started that's the problem.
On the aviation side today, we have about 40 people working with us for the steel structures that are being installed. Overall project, there's well over 500 workers. We'll complete this project in under 36 months.
The sunia project will only take about 3 years to build, but it took 17 years to get approved by local, state, and federal agencies and overcome lawsuits. The Biden-Harris administration has changed some federal rules to accelerate permitting for transmission projects and has made the largest green infrastructure investment in history, totaling over $30 billion. But long-term, expanding the grid enough to keep up with the clean energy build-out will depend on action from Congress. A bipartisan bill to speed the approval of energy projects, introduced by Senators Joe Manchin and John Barrasso, is being considered in the Senate. But as currently written, the bill would also accelerate polluting projects and increase oil drilling on public lands, potentially canceling out benefits for the climate. Whether a more environmentally friendly bill can pass will likely come down to which party controls Congress. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you'd like to see more stories like this one, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to get more Perfect Union in your feed. And if you have any ideas for stories that you would like for us to investigate, just drop them in the comments below.